All right, let's talk about investing. If you're new to the game, you are in for one heck of an emotional roller coaster. Today, we're diving into that whole journey, from feeling like a financial whiz to, well, something else entirely, all through the lens of H.G. Ravi's super witty book.
Come on, be honest. Have you ever had one of those weeks? You make a single great stock pick and suddenly you're browsing for private islands? But then, the very next day, you're seriously considering if stuffing cash under your mattress is a viable retirement plan. If that sounds even a little bit familiar, then yep, you're in the right place.
Okay, so let's start with the fun part, the really good part. We're talking about that incredible, almost euphoric high you get when a stock you picked just takes off. This is basically Act 1 of our investing journey, the moment you feel absolutely invincible.
And man, is that feeling powerful. You're not just happy, you're on top of the world. You start casually dropping terms like market sentiment and dividend yields at dinner parties. It's kind of ridiculous when you think about it, right? One lucky guess and suddenly you're picturing yourself as the next Leo DiCaprio in The Wolf of Wall Street.
This is the point where you start to believe you have some kind of superpower, right? That magic financial juju. It wasn't luck, it wasn't research. No, it was you. You've cracked the code. In your mind, the market has suddenly become this predictable little machine, and you, my friend, have the secret instruction manual.
And this is where the overconfidence really hits its peak. You see a little dip in the price, and you don't feel fear, you smell an opportunity. You're thinking, oh, look at that. The market's giving me a little discount because it knows I'm a genius. You are completely convinced you've mastered timing the market, something that, by the way, has humbled even the pros.
All right, so now for Act 2. Because, what goes up eventually gets a little shaky. This is that moment where that warm, fuzzy feeling of being a genius starts to curdle into cold, hard anxiety.
And the emotional whiplash here is just, wow, it's intense. First, you're in this calm denial phase. Oh, it's fine, it's just a little dip, it'll bounce back. But as those red numbers on the screen get bigger and bigger, all that cool logic just flies out the window. And the author's description of a total financial enema, it's graphic, but it perfectly captures that gut-wrenching panic.
And this is such a key point. It stops feeling like an impersonal market thing. It feels personal. Your favorite stock, the one that was literally printing money for you yesterday, has now betrayed you. You find yourself checking your phone every 30 seconds, like if you stare at it hard enough, you can somehow intimidate it into going back up.
This is that moment of pure confusion. All your brilliant theories, all your gut feelings, that magic juju, poof, it's all gone. The market is supposed to be logical, isn't it? But for some reason, it's just not doing what you told it to do. It is a super humbling, really frustrating experience that, let's be real, pretty much every investor goes through.
Okay, let's move on to Act 3, which is where things get really, truly chaotic. Logic? Yeah, logic has left the building. At this point, decisions are being driven by pure, unfiltered fear, a herd mentality, and a massive dose of social media hype.
So what's a panicked investor supposed to do? Well, a lot of the time they jump from one burning building right into another. And this is where we meet the meme stock. The source just nails the definition here. It's not about a solid business plan. It's all about online hype. And that line, welcome to the casino, it's perfect because that's exactly what it is, a gamble. Plain and simple.
And you've got these two emotions working together to create the absolute perfect storm for bad decisions. You have FOMO, the fear of missing out, screaming in your ear, everyone else is getting rich off this, you're going to miss it. And then YOLO, you only live once, chimes in to say, hey, go big or go home. It is a seriously potent and dangerous cocktail for your wallet.
And all of this brings us to what the source calls the checklist of boneheaded decisions. Sound familiar? Buying a stock because you heard a rumor from some random account on Twitter, selling everything after a tiny dip because you panicked, thinking you can time the market just because you had a feeling. These are the absolute classic traps we all fall into when we let our emotions grab the steering wheel.
And here it is, the punchline to this whole chaotic mess. In a complete panic, you sell everything right at the bottom, locking in all your losses. You have just successfully done the exact opposite of what you're supposed to do. You bought high and you sold low. As the source says, bravo. The market definitely got the last laugh on that.
But hey, it's not all doom and gloom. In our final act, we get to the actual wisdom here. After that wild roller coaster of euphoria and panic, what's the real secret to investing?
So the most important takeaway is this. Success isn't about finding that one magical stock or having some kind of mystical power to predict the future. It's not about chasing trends or getting lucky at the meme stock casino. The real secret is, actually, it's a lot less exciting, but it's way, way more effective.
And here it is, the boring but incredibly powerful path to success. Number 1, do your research. And that means ditching the gut feelings and, yes, the horoscopes. Actually understand what it is you're buying. Number 2, be patient. This is a marathon, not a sprint. Wealth isn't built in a day. And number 3, avoid chasing trends. Just tune out all that noise. Don't let FOMO be your financial advisor. It's simple stuff, but man, it is not easy.
And really, it all boils down to this one crucial idea. The difference between time and timing is absolutely everything. Trying to time the market, that's a fool's game. But giving your investments time in the market, letting solid, well-researched companies grow over the long haul, that is the most reliable path to building wealth that we know of.
I just love this final bit of wisdom from the source. It calls this the stock market diet. And the idea is that while your financial gains might come and go, the emotional weight you lose, all that panic, all that overconfidence, shedding that will last you a lifetime. You're left with a much healthier, much saner approach to the whole thing. So we're going to end with this question for you to think about. The stock market is a total zoo. It's chaotic and it's unpredictable. The herd is going to stampede at every little rumor and every single dip. So the question is, are you going to get trampled running with them, or are you going to learn to be the zookeeper, the one who takes a step back, understands the principles, and stays calm and collected? The choice is yours.